So, Kieran, we go way back before that night in December 2012. And I think that's what led us to here.
Yeah.
And obviously it's, for me, and for us both, I think we spoke about this, it probably took a few years for me to step foot into it and for us to sort of, it sounds soft, get over it and sort of be mates again. Not like we ever fell out, but there was a little bit of needle, which, expectedly so. And I think there was this estate, I think it was, I couldn't imagine the crime rate was anything above zero, because I think they all come to watch you that night, didn't they? But,
100%. Yeah.
No, but, going back to that, Kate, I think you was out over training in Belfast at John Breen's gym with him and Eamon McGee.
Yeah.
I'm right in saying that, aren't I? Joe, will you just take us back to that time?
Yeah. So,
when the fight was made and...
So, I was originally meant to be fighting Tommy Coyle, and that went to purse bids, and Dave Colwell won the purse bids and Tommy Coyle pulled out. So then I've got the English title fight, and I've got no one to fight for it, and it was the prize fighter that night. You was in it. There was Gary Sykes in it.
It was a great prize fighter, Derry Matthews.
And even I was meant to be in that at one point, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you was, yeah.
Then because of everything what was going on in my personal life, I had to come out and... but I still had that English title fight, so I won the Eliminator when I beat Joel
against Shove, body shot.
Yeah.
Yes.
When I had the fight and he pulled out, Dave Colwell had texted me, and I actually remember, I'm going to be straight on camera now, I remember where I was, So I said, I said to Chris Maylett, I remember saying to Chris Maylett in 2012, I don't know where I was now, I was walking back from Pizza Hut, I had a pizza in my hand, I swear that wasn't my life, what it was like. I had a pizza in my hand, me and Nathan walked to Pizza Hut, and we're walking back on Pillsworth Industrial Estate, we're walking back, and I had a pizza in my hand, and a text said, I would love to shut him up, and I felt like he was talking about Tommy Coyle again, like it's back on, and it weren't, because Tommy Coyle was saying things like, he'd knock me out in sparring and stuff like this, which was a load of bullshit. He actually never did knock me out in sparring. But then, he said, I'd love to shut him up, and he went, no, I think you're on the wrong lines, mate. So I'm like, who could it be? So I texted him, I put, it's got to be Derry Matthews, Gary Sykes, or Crolla. Yeah, it's one of them, mate. And I thought in my head straight away, Anthony Crolla, it's Anthony Crolla. But it was so surreal to me, man, because, mate, you were meant to be fighting Eric Morales before me, you know what I mean?
No, I know it. That point in my career, in the space of 9 months, it had just
turned
gone
round,
mental.
turned
out about 12 months.
Yeah,
it had really turned round. One, bit unlucky. Two, it was a blessing in disguise.
And from what I see as well, even with your career, is that, it's that consistency, and it's about just keep going back to the thing. And I tell everybody about you as well. And look, you're fighting Lomachenko out there in LA. Yeah. And if you beat him, mate, you was going to be regarded as one of the pound for pound best. Yeah. It's mad to say that you've gone from a kid who's boxing at age 11 to now boxing at LA and fighting for potentially to be regarded as one of the best pound for pound in the world. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, it is, but it's a long old slog there when you think that. And there was easily times, listen, I've said time and time again, if I want to come away that night, might not box ever again. I'd like to, that's what I was saying. But you don't know, because then I would have had to get a job, and then the hunger might not have been there and stuff like that. So
but
you
then,
just don't know.
Even after my fight, you got hit on the head with a slab, didn't you?
Yes, and that's it. So then I had more, challenging times.
So for me, and that was upsetting as well, because I thought, I hope this not the end of it, you know what I mean? Because you don't win a world title at that point, you know what I mean?
Do you know what?
You put yourself in a position for it, but you weren't actually. You don't think you had won the title at the time?
No, I didn't. It was coming like I'd had a shot in there, but it didn't look like I was ever going to get it again. And that's one what I think probably proper emotional for me. When I know you said you was buzzing, you felt like had won it, and then you could sort of be at peace with that. Yeah. But I remember you and Nathan, he boxed at the arena and he had my name on his shorts, and it was like, wow, it proper took me back. Yeah. And especially as well, because when you look at it, it was never, but I remember in the build-up, your Nathan, I reckon, was a hothead. Yeah. And he was a bit like, he's fighting my big brother. And you know what? I always remember it. And I loved it. I don't know if it's you or him. I think I've said this to you before. It was like, If you wear purple hoodies,
me.
Chinos. If you wear purple hoodies and chinos, you're a Crolla fan.
It was a thing at the time.
And I was at a show, and I thought, I've got a purple hoodie and chinos.
It was a fashion at the time, wasn't it?
It was the top man fashion at the time.
I was that kid. I was that scruffy. I was a little scally kid who wore the TNs.
Listen, I wish I was that kid as well off the estate. Because I think I probably got pictures of me in Toms and stuff like that.
And that's what I said. I was just trying to group people. Like, hey, if you're wearing the Toms and the chinos, mate,
I've got a great set of mates. And they was ripping me as well. And I thought, you know what, that's fucking brilliant.
It was brilliant. Me. You know what? It actually come on to me. Every year it comes on to me. Time like 7 years ago, 6 years ago.
It was brilliant.
I'll share it this year, and I was like,
But no, I think, do you know, like into that. Okay, you had an awful lot of trouble.
Yeah.
In I'm not asking to get into that, but in your personal life, then you was flying back and forth from Belfast.
Yeah.
And then, do you know what? Just roughly, in the build up to that, what was it like being out in Belfast? Because what part of Belfast was you in?
I was in Ardine, which is like, really rough area to be fair, and there was all sorts going on there, mate.
Did you feel very much? I don't mean running up.
I didn't feel safe.
No, that's what. But
I didn't even feel safe there, mate. I was basically.
I know how determined you was, but did you ever think at times, what am I doing here?
You know what, mate? I'm mad. Yeah. I'm mad. I always actually think to myself, sometimes now more often, I'm like, when I look back, I think, what the hell was I doing there?
So, but at the time, you're probably thinking, no, I'm making sacrifices.
100%,
There was probably a little bit where you're thinking, I wasn't even safe. Never mind.
That's what I'm saying, mate. It was mad, and to be fair, I was just saying to Dom a bit earlier, with my personal life and that, I'd never had a girlfriend and that, you know what I mean? And everything what happened, obviously it's happened for a reason. It's took me to where I am today, so I don't regret any of it. But I know that with everything what we're going on, like I said to Dom on the build up to the fight with you, and I got no excuse because what I did that night was what I was meant to do.
Yeah.
I was meant to throw all them shots at you. I was meant to do that, and whether I won or I lost, that weren't even a thing for me. It was about fighting you, man. You know what I mean? And it's like when Tommy Coyle fought Derek Matthews. It didn't matter if he got knocked out. He come on from there and he built himself and built a name for himself. And I know when I come out of that fight with you, man, win or lose, I was going to be a better fighter for it. And people would have sat up and took notice, like, wow, look at that kid, 22 years old, he just mixed it with Crolla. And
I always forget how young you was, kid.
You went on to win a world title, you know what I mean? And I feel like I was only, that was just our steps. You know what I mean? Like, we all see Floyd Mayweather, and it's not about being 44 or 49 or 50. It's about being
in real fights.
Yeah. And for me, and I used to watch Arturo Gattis and Mickey Ward and Antonio Margarita versus Miguel Cotto and Diego Cruz versus Lucy. In my own little way, and that fight against yourself was one of them fights.
It was a brilliant fight. Yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I believe that. I'm like undercard, small hall show fight. Yeah. If that would have been on a bigger platform.
But you look at the English title fights you see today, they're not on the same level. You know what I mean?
Exactly that. When I think of that fight, and I had a fight with Andy Morris for it, and I genuinely, without bigging myself up too much, I think you always joke with Callum Smith. He goes, "You had those two fights, and you see some of the others, and I'm not." Throwing shade at any way in front of us, and you think, how does that work? Do you know how does that? Do you know what I mean? But that's just it. That's just it. It was a look of the draw, and
but again, even for the old division, and I looked at it, I shared it the other day. When we boxed each other, so after I won essentially every title, I was ranked number 8 or number 7 in Britain. There was Ricky Burns, Kevin Mitchell, John Murray, yourself,
Gavin Rees,
Derry Matthews,
Terry had just moved up. Alex Arth, was he still around?
Like Tommy Coyle were there.
Wow,
I was there. You know what I mean? There was
either one of those would have been a great British title fight. You know what I mean?
And I think the top 15 or top 20 was all. There was Kevin Hooper was unbeaten. And,
at the time,
champion. There was like so many good fighters there.
Kevin Mitchell? Said Kevin Mitchell.
Kevin Mitchell was there. So I know. It's madness, man. You know what I mean? And I think Carl Johansson might have been just falling off round about there at that time. You know what I mean? But the top 15, 20 in the UK at the time was it was an hard division, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, honestly, and I loved it.
Yeah,
I loved it because I thought, right, we beat him, then I'm gonna beat him. You know what I mean?
And you was like, you was boxing was just your life, wasn't it? Like obsessed, obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I think, do you know what, Kieran? And I've always said to you, like, that night, I couldn't believe the strength of you. And it's mad when I think you was only 22, and I know you said, I put this on after the fight. You know the amount of weight you put after the fight. However, I always say, do you know, working on the roads, just like. Do you reckon that that sort of built that in you? Do you know what I mean? With your dad on the road.
Like, you know what? I tell you now what it is, Anya. So, obviously, my dad is part of my inspiration to boxing, and like, I've heard a few quotes before in the past. Like, a quote is, "A father's disappointment is a very powerful tool."
Yeah.
If I ever thought I disappointed my dad, it really pissed me off. You know what I mean? So, like, I used to sort of use that as well when I was boxing.
Of course.
And my dad used to always say, like, you and. Watch our Kieran, he wouldn't take a step backwards, so he used to bring a minibus of lads to watch me fight.
Yes.
And if I took a step backwards, I thought,
you'd feel like
I've disappointed
even though you wouldn't have been.
When I think about it now, I think, well, why did you just step back and throw a jab? You know what I mean? Like, and I never like did that.
Some things could have been made easier.
Never did that. And like when I'm teaching boxing in here, I'm teaching people to do that. I'm like, well, I never did it. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say that, Kieran, about you. It surprised. I don't want to say it surprised me as a coach, or surprised me how you was as a coach. I don't want to make that sound disrespectful, but it's mad when you look at your Emily Whitworth.
Like, the opposite. You know what I mean?
There's unbelievable things that shouldn't. Emily, you could go through so many. Look at your Nathan. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm trying to think. Is there a fighter you train who fights like you?
No, mate. There's no. Like, the thing is, Anya, is that like I learned pretty quick. I've had kids in the past where I've taught them my style, And to be fair, like I was showing you a little clip of Emily there sparring the other day. She's developing a little bit more aggression now, like and a bit more spite and a punch than that, which she's gonna need as she moves up in the ranks. But the thing is like it's easy for me to teach you how to beat me, because I know how I used to box. You know what I mean? But then if I want you to do what I used to do, it takes a mental bastard to be able to do that. You know what I mean? And it's a lot harder to stand there and fight than it is to box.
Especially when you don't always have to as well.
That's it. And it's even hard to explain it. Like I'm teaching one kid at the minute, Kyle, to be a bit more relentless on the front foot. And last night he got it a little bit more. He got caught. You get caught. But that's the part of the thing. What a lot of people don't like. You can't get caught and let it annoy you. You've got to be able to get caught. Like, right, sound. I'm going to come back with 2 more. I'm going to beat him. Like, if he throws 3, I'm going to throw 4. Do you know what I mean? Like, and when you can step back and just throw a jab and make it easy for yourself. But for me, and training fighters now, I train people how to beat me. And if I get that same mad person in here,
install a bit of that into them as well, or look to polish them.
I know I can. Like my come forward game is my game anyway. I know that I can do that, but like I said, maybe with times and places, like I say, Emily's developing a little bit more of it now, which will make her a whole complete fighter. For me, like I don't know, like with the training, like I think it's easier just to teach them how to beat a sort of Kieran Farrell. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No one knows you better than yourself.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's obviously that night, and there was the rehab to get you back, sort of doing what you're doing now and stuff. How long was it before you was in this place that? And listen, there might still be days now, but so you accepted you was never going to watch the game, because like I said, I know how much you was obsessed with boxing.
Yeah,
with boxing.
I think. When Nick Blackwell had the second injury, I think it took till that point for me to, I actually thought, because I knew that I weren't getting a license, but I was sparring. Yeah. I was being. I'm not gonna lie. I had my mate had come in, and my mate was 16 stone, and I don't know why I thought it was all right, but I do 10 rounds with him, and he didn't know, you know what I mean?
And if something would have happened, God bless.
And he doesn't know, and I'll be honest, what happened one day is, when you get buzzed up? Yeah. So he dipped me with a shot, and I got buzzed up, but I liked it. Yeah. And I thought, mate, I'm going to fucking kill you now, you know what I mean? But then I thought, this is wrong, and I sat there, when the Nick Blackwell had that second injury, like, what are you doing, you know what I mean? What are you doing, what am I getting out of that? But what will my family lose from that? You know what I mean? Like, what will my family lose from my greediness and selfishness to get in here?
Yeah.
And like, look, I get in all the time with the little kids and that. You know what I mean? I get in with the kids all the time. Like, we do some body spas and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But
since that day, you'll never start taking headshots.
No, I try best not to with them pads, like, but you know,
I mean, there might be the other pads,
but other than that, like it was.
And that's what it took.
It took that long, you know what I mean? Because all it was at first, all 2013, even when I opened there, I still believed that I could get an Irish license.
Yeah.
I applied for my Irish license at the end of December 2013. And they were like, look, you've had a good career, call it a day. I'm like, right, shit, now I've got to go to Japan, And then I was just thinking about, like...
Just not wanting to accept
I was just thinking, like... but then I had a couple of kids come through as who was part of the behavioural unit at St Cuthbert's, and it was Brad O'Connell who beat Tommy Fiore and Lyndon Clayton. Lyndon Clayton were beating everyone. And Lyndon Clayton was... He was that kid who I said... I could taught him. I taught him Kieran Farrell style, and that was when I first learning how to teach fighters. So he imitated everything I did, but he looked part and he could punch hard as well. You know what I mean? Because we took him to sparring at Fox and that, didn't we?
Yeah, he was more than an handful.
And I remember because he sparred Finger. Dylan. Dylan. And Dylan had about 20 amateur fights.
Yeah, he was more than an handful.
I was like thinking, right, I'm gonna put him with Brad Ree next and shit like that. You know what I mean? I was trying to push him on fast. You know what I mean? Because I knew that for 3 2-minute rounds, he's gonna
an handful.
Yeah, he's gonna be an handful for anyone. So, I think that probably took my mind off thinking that I'm going to fight again because I've got these 2 kids now. But then other little things what happened, like obviously I got granted the British Empire Medal off the Queen. I'm doing this now. Then I got a promoter's license. Then, you know, even though I still wanted to do that, I had stuff going on where I'm manager now, I'm promoter now, and I've got a medal from the Queen. I'm doing all this stuff, and I thought, what's the point in that? You know what I mean? Like, it's not like it for me. Even though it's so selfish, if you ask me today, and even though I know the repercussions, will I box tomorrow, and I can do it, and I'm a licensed to, I'll do it, mate. And I won't even want to train. Give me, I'll do a 15 rounder, with the best lightweight in the UK. Who is it? Adam Hazin, mate. I'll box his head off.
Okay, so like about the actual fight itself, we spoke time and time again, like how tough it was. Listen, the fight was unbelievably tough, but I think it was the aftermath, and obviously I've said it time and time again. You know, seeing you fall ill straight away is one of the very hardest things I've ever had to deal with in life. And like after we mentioned, it was near 2 years before we. And I told you I drove up here, and it was like put the postcode in and just started driving. And if any excuse would have come up for you to like, I could have turned back round and avoided it, but I think like that's like I've told you that's the hardest thing I've ever had to deal with. So I'm
gonna say like, you know, for me, and everyone goes on about like for me how tough it was for me, but like when I see my family having to deal with it, and I know like you had your own demons and about it all. What I mean. How long did it take you to get over all that? You know what I mean?
Well, I told you, like, I didn't know it affected me until I got told, like, in the gym for a good 18 months. I know that doesn't sound too long to some people, but when you're preparing for big fights, it's a long time, isn't it, mate? And there was that, and I think coming here that day, it was like, I wish I would have done it sooner, but I think, and you said it, and both said, we probably needed that bit of time. 100%. You would have come in straight away, it would have been like, no, it's too soon. And I think I come in that day and you was mad busy with all the kids and I felt, do you know what I mean? I felt proud, but I was like, not from a selfish point where I was relieved as well. Well, I probably was, but I was like, I thought, no, I could have sort of like,
but you know what,
acceptance that you was going to do what you was going to do here. What you're doing now, I knew that was going to happen then.
It probably was well better because, like, you know, when the first 6 months I was so slow. I was so slow, and that would affect you even more. You know what I mean? It's like it's like even talking. I was talking like that. You know what I mean? Like and that would you would have identified that straight away, especially before obviously a boxer.
I don't know
because I was singing all sorts of shit. You know what I mean? And saying all sorts, and I was fast a bit. Like we were talking talking before about the purple udder and the chinos and the Converse. It was
I wouldn't think them out. The Converse.
So
to complete the outfit.
Yeah. So obviously, like you would have seen it yourself, like, and I would, you know, it probably done you the world of good to not come back till a little bit later. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm telling you, mate. I've got it's like, you know, when you say, and you know, like when we fought, they could have told me I'll fight Manny Pacquiao that same night, I still believe I would have beat him. You know what I mean? I just because I think, you know, when you submit in 2008 and I beat I won the junior ABA national final and I stopped the kid in the second round.
Yeah.
And the year before I lost in the final when me and Ronnie both got beat in the final, and oh my God, something lit inside me, and I'm like, I will never set foot in a ring and get beaten. And I beat Tommy Stubbs, who went on to win 3 ABA titles. I beat Michael Conlon, who was the world amateur champion, doing really well. I beat everybody. And when I fought you, man, I'm on a 14-0 unbeaten run, but I've also, like, my last 15 amateur fights, I've won them. So now I haven't been beat since 2007 to December 2012. So you're talking almost 6 years I haven't been beat for, and now I've got something in my head, like, you can put Floyd Mayweather in the ring, I'm going to fuck him up.
Yeah, there's no way.
I can't get beat off him, you know what I mean? So, like, and, you know, I honestly, I like that attitude, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that it just grows inside you, you know what I mean? Like, and I think even with your own career, and it's like even Brian Rose said to me, like, he just kept winning. And he thought, hey, surely it's going to end sometime. And I'm like, mate, just keep winning, you know what I mean? Every time he fought, he won, you know what I mean? So, you know, it's good.
Do you know now, okay, so I see it's not because I'm lucky enough to have my lads on, and like, I see the shows you put on as a promoter, and like, without a doubt, they're better than some of the shows that get on TV. I genuinely mean that. There's fighters who you're managing, getting opportunities, you know, but on all platforms. There's you coaching the amateurs, not just Emily Whitworth, but that's the standout, because that's an unbelievable story. A European champion, you know, European gold medal, and going to the World Youth. Professionals, like, can you just give us one as a promoter, and then one as a manager and coach, as a professional, and one as an amateur? What are your goals now?
So with the promoting, obviously, I'm not gonna start saying that I'm a realist and like, you can't do that and you can't do this. Look, the goal is always the pinnacle. You know what I mean? Like, so if I'm gonna be a promoter, And Jed Mason said this to me, so like, you can't be jack of all trades, you got to choose one, And at the minute, I'm probably saying it's trainer. I've been training Emily Whitworth to a high standard, and even my pros, we just don't know where my pros are going yet, you know what I mean? Because like, they've all got individual goals, and we've got to just see how it pans out, because you know yourself, and with professional boxing, it's a little bit more. There's a little bit more.
A lot of obstacles.
So like, you know, and it's consistency again, and you know what I mean? Like, you got to keep going back to that well all the time, and
some of those fighters might just wake up one day and think, listen, I can earn more money.
Look at Mark Efron.
Mate, I didn't realise he was first with your thing 12 years ago.
Which would have been made him 18-year-old.
Yes, he turned very early.
He turned when he was 17, didn't he? And the thing is, like, I said, like, look, it's like even Ronnie, because we know both how good Ronnie Efron was.
Unbelievable.
And myself, me and Ronnie was pushing fast. We were both age 21, trying to take the best on in the UK. Denton for self for Ronnie, and me with yourself. And if someone held us back a little bit and said, look, just be consistent, just wait another 4 or 5 years.
Time.
You got it, you know what I mean? You're gonna get all that, you know what I mean? And that's it. And with Mark's done his thing. And he's done his thing, and it's gone on for a long time. But look at him now, man. You know what I mean? Like, he's in a massive position. You know what I mean? And you know, back to your question, my goal as promoter, the pinnacle. I want to do the MAN Arena.
Yeah, you want to put.
I want to do the MAN Arena. I'd love the MAN Arena, but like right now, if I'm saying to you, if it's going to be in the next 12 months, I don't think it's realistically. No, I don't think it'll be in the next 12 months. But
if you're in it for the long haul,
I'm just going to keep doing my thing, because, like I say, it only takes one star, you know what I mean? And with everything what we're doing, and even yourself, we all work together. There's me, you, there's Joe. There's a few others who I help out. We put all the kids on the shows to keep them busy and get them out fighting. And I think the manager trainer thing for me, with my brother, look, I'd love my brother to get to that English title. I'd love him to take it for him.
Yeah.
Then whatever he does after that, then so be it. You know what I mean? Like, but. You know, and even
for himself, he's got bags and bags of time, but to win that's something that could never be.
Just be nice. I just think it'd be nice, and I think that he's well more than capable of doing it in the next 18 months' time. So just and because he's only young himself, he's 29, so you know what I mean. Just do it, you know what I mean. And then for everything else, on the sky is not the limit; it's just of you. You know what I mean? Like we can go further, mate. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about like not just Emily. I'm talking about all the amateurs. You got Jerry McBride,
super talent, knowing
sick
well.
Fighter, he's sick fighter. You know what I mean? And there's so many good fighters coming through with this season. We've won a schoolboy title. We've won a junior title, we've won a youth title, we've won a youth European gold medal, we've won GB Three Nations, we've won everything we could possibly win. Every box cup.
And the motivation is just for that.
Germany, everything, mate. And you know, with the amateurs, because I don't want one fight. I want a bunch, a crop of good fighters coming through, because I know, and like. You look at Repton, you look at West Ham, you look at Pinewood Stars, you look at all these good clubs, we haven't really got that up in Manchester, you know what I mean? We used to have like Northside and stuff like that, but you know, where Northside used to have a lot of national champions.
Every year, churning them out,
I remember Anthony Leake, Tommy Stubbs, Tom Bloom, there was so many good fighters, wasn't there?
Year in, year out.
And
but you want similar to what they was like, conveyor belt of national champions every year, bringing fresh kids through.
And you know, I know that with what I've got in there, and I know I can actually identify straight away who's going to be next.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I know who's going to be next straight away. I can see it already. You know what I mean. And what's it called? For the obviously with the amateur boxing and stuff like that, what I do, look, I love it. I look because when you think about all the politics we're talking about with the professional boxing, and it does go on in amateur boxing. Politics it does happen. But when you take a kid from nothing, literally can't even throw a jab, to now is this person. I put up a couple of videos. I put up the video of Rihanna DeForo. She couldn't throw a jab when she come to me. Then I turned her into an animal. Animal. She had 114, lost one, or 112, lost one from her. Emily Whitworth, the same. She had a video.
There's nothing more satisfying than taking a kid
There was a video where she started with me in 2018, where she was boxing. She had 1-8, lost 6.
Yeah.
Now she's 122, lost 7.
Yeah.
She had 1 loss. And she's going to revenge that next week. She's going to revenge that in a couple of weeks. You trust me?
Nah, okay. It's good to see the things you're doing here, mate. It's good to see the things you're doing here. And, mate, keep breeding champions, Every time I come down here, mate, I see it, and there'll be, like you says, the conveyor belt's well and truly running now.
Yeah, 100%. Thank you.
Bam.
Nice one, mate.